You know, we've had two days of full pad practice, and really good opportunity for a lot of guys to improve as players, going back to fundamentals on both sides of the ball, just blocking, tackling, getting some timing in the throw game, running routes the right way, just going back to the details. Lots of good one-on-one, an opportunity to work three groups to get some of these younger guys a lot of action. You know, so we'll continue to do that tomorrow. We've prepped a little bit on some of our future opponents every day, but there's nothing like going against each other for the speed of the game, the competition. So had 2 days of pretty good work doing that.
Just in general, you're 5 games into the season. What's the biggest thing that you've learned about this team, just in terms of where y'all are as a program and how far away you are?
Well, I think our guys they're figuring out if they do things the right way, it gives them they give themselves a chance to have success. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. If we don't give ourselves a chance. And that's here in Knoxville. That's everywhere across the country. You know, the teams that do the details, do the little things, play smart, play hard, take care of the football, and do it consistently over and over and over. It gives them a chance to put drives together on offense, gives them a chance to create some explosive plays. Defensively, you know, they don't lose hidden yardage. You know, they keep guys in front of them. They make the other team earn it. So that's something that we got to continue to work to get to. There's lots of plays in every game that we have all 11 guys doing what they're supposed to do, but you don't have a lot of success when it's just lots of play. You got to do it almost every play, because there's going to be lots of times that you do it right every play. You may not have success. Maybe they're in a good call. Maybe sometimes you might get beat based off of ability. It happens all over the league, all over the country. All right? But we have to do that to where we have to make the other team beat us, and we've got to create more consistency on both sides of the ball.
Blake, Brent, David. Ty Chandler's produced a few big plays this season. Do you think there's a need to get the ball in his hands a little more often?
Well, you know, it's like I told Ty, I think the other day, we had 3 explosive plays the other day. Ty was involved in 2 of them. The 2 times that he created explosive plays, you know, we got him to the second level. He makes a guy miss, extends a play to, you know, plus 20 yards or plus 15 yards. You know, but there's probably 3 other times in the game Saturday that we got him to the second level and the first guy there knocked him down. And it's a 6-yard gain. So all our backs, not just Ty, we got to make the first guy miss, all right? And we got to do a good job up front to where we can get them to the second level, block the big guys. One of the most important things in the run game is block the big guys, all right? Because most of the time when the big guys tackle the backs, they go backwards. If you can get them to the second level, to the linebackers, to the secondary, the back should be falling forward. So now you're talking about 3-yard plus gains. You get them to the second level, they make somebody miss, now you got a chance for explosive plays.
Coach, in your self-scout, as you look at your team, 3rd and short, 4th and short situations, what do you guys, is it all physical that you need to do a better job up front? Is it middle up front? What do you need to see to improve in the 3rd and short situation?
Well, I think it's probably like 1st and 10. It goes back to execution, you know, not having mental errors, stepping with the right foot. You know, if you're going to run a play, I'm standing here right here, we're going to run the ball right here, and I'm an offensive lineman right here. The most important thing is, I would say, if we're going to run the ball right here, is not to get beat across my face this way, right? Just common sense. Things like that. So, you know, we've got to continue to improve on that. Guys got to have a better understanding. We need to play with better pad level, need to get more push, and the backs need to knock the holes forward.
David and Rob and Michael.
What did you really want to see from your team this week, and have you seen it through 2 practices?
what I want to see from my team this week.
Yeah, anything specific you were sort of wanting to see coming off the loss in a bye week? What did you want to see from them in practice?
I want to see us improve. I want to see guys that want to get better every day, that want to compete, and we have tons of places that we can improve. Start with the O-line, being consistent up front, playing with an attitude, playing with the right pad level, being finishers in the run game. How many times do you see our runners running down the field and you see our offensive linemen knocking the DBs off of them down the field? You throw the ball, get out covering up front, being consistent, no mental errors, protection. Tight ends, same deal in the run game, throw game, running backs finishing runs, wide receivers, playing with speed, playing fast, running good routes, being consistent. If you go out here and run a snap route 100 times and you run it at 8 yards every single time, and then you get to the game and you run it at 10, something's not right. So just being consistent. It's all over the board. Defensively, tackling better. And I think you can work on tackling every single day, and we do. But some of that's an attitude. I used to play for a guy, and we didn't work on tackling drills. This is 25 years ago, all right? And his thought was, he used to tell us, if you couldn't tackle, I wouldn't recruited you, So that's why we thud every day in practice, and we got to have guys that knock people back. How many times in the game last week, did the first guy not get the guy on the ground? And how many times did the first guy from Georgia get our guys on the ground? So we got to improve in all areas. Need to improve in the kicking game. Need to get better production in the punt return. We've blocked 2 punts this year, but not got a lot of return yardage, and we should have. We've had some opportunities there. So we can improve in all 3 phases, and we're trying to do that every day.
Coach, looked like a couple of guys working in different spots. Blakely on the defensive line today and Bumpus yesterday. Is that just open week, take a look at it, or permanent in these cases?
Well, it just, for one, Bumpus done it in the spring. With John Mincy being out, just to give him 1 day in case we get an emergency if something was to happen. He went back and worked with the tight ends again today. Blakely, he's a guy that's he played 2 plays in the last game. So if he's going to play 2 plays in the last game, he might as well play defense, all right? And if they need him for those 2 plays, then we can put him over there and he can play on those 2 plays. They do it in pro ball all the time. So I think they get to dress, 47 or 48 players, something like that. So we need to give him a home and give him an opportunity where he can play and develop as a player.
Now they've got 5 games under their belt. What are kind of the next steps you want to see from Alante, Bryce, and Trayvon through this offseason?
Well, I'd like to see them play with more toughness, play with more of an edge, practice every day that way, create the right habits, eliminate mistakes. These guys they do a lot of really good things, okay, but they got a long ways to go. And it's like I told them now, they're really not freshmen anymore. They've been here long enough. They've played in enough games. They need to raise their level of play.
Jeremy, was just wondering, has Tyson been able to roll out pretty much the whole offensive package with play calling, or do you anticipate there being new wrinkles and nuances added to the scheme as the season progresses?
Well, when you can be successful offensively. It's been proven over the course of time. You can run a split back veer, you can run the triple option, you can run the run and shoot. You can do whatever. It's all about being able to execute, having positive plays, not having negative plays, being efficient in the throw game, being able to run the ball effectively. And we've not been able to do that for most of the year. There's been times that we've put plays back to back, but we've got to be more consistent. We've done a really good job of getting in third and manageable. All right, and like Brent asked, heck, we haven't converted. In the last game there's 2 3rd and 1s. So we've got to do a better job of that. You want to put yourself in manageable 3rd downs, and if you look at it across college football, I think last week, defensively, they converted 8 out of 14 snaps on us on 3rd down. But if you go back and look, how many of them were 3rd and 2 or less? A lot of them. The last several weeks, we've been successful on 3rd down. A lot of them have been 3rd and 8 pluses. So, it's probably, to be good on offense, you got to be able to convert. You got to score touchdowns in the red area. Can't turn the ball over. So, we got to find a way to do that and be consistent every day.
Austin and West.
Coach, Jordan Murphy's a guy that's got some speed. What's he got to do to get on the field more, and would you like to see him be more involved?
Well, I've kind of said it to the guys that haven't got to play a whole lot, okay? So we watch tape. There's no secrets in our program. We watch tape. We're pretty blunt. We put it out there. It's the only way I know how to operate. That's how I want people to operate with me. So the guys that haven't been playing, okay, there's a reason they've not been playing. Either they don't know what to do, they don't know how to do it, or they've been inconsistent. Not just Jordan, every player, So he's got to improve. You're right. He's got good speed. He's got good hands. But he's got to be consistent every day out there at practice.
It looked like Will Ignon, had a couple nice plays in that game on Saturday. Was that just more of that thumping kind of game that suits him, or is he developing and showing he can be a guy who can give you more?
Well, Will made some nice plays Saturday. There's a couple of times that the ball run right there and they didn't even block him. They gained 9 yards. So no different than anybody else on our team. All right, he's got to be consistent. All right, they run one play and he tackles them for a 1-yard loss. They run the same play, don't block him, they run it for 9 yards. So he's got to be consistent. That you can't just hit a home run or strike out. We've got to be somewhere in between.
Brian.
Jeremy, you talked about after the first game, I think it was, trying to kind of figure out how you can contribute offensively, I guess, during games and stuff, especially. Have you gotten a better feel for that 5 games then, just kind of, ways that you maybe become more involved on the offensive side?
Yeah, I think probably in planning. Lots of the opponents I've been familiar with, so I can give them some ideas. But on game day, the plan should already be in. About how you want to call the game, just like it is defensively. I mean, it's P and 10. They're in certain personnel. The ball's in a certain part of the field. You should have an idea. We're going to call, one of these 4 defenses. All right, or we're going to call one of these 4 offensive plays. It's 2nd and 7 plus. It's 2nd minus 6. And so kind of along the way, the score might dictate some of that. Offensively, you probably got, 4 or 5 special plays that you like. All right, and you want to put them in there. There's somewhere it's kind of a field deal. It's got to be on the right hash. It's got to be in the right part of the field. So, I think that's probably the biggest thing that I've tried to do is help the guys a little bit in the organization.
Any other questions for Coach? Thank you.
Thank you very much.